Hello everybody, I'm your friendly neighborhood Let's Play SpiderMwa. I want to welcome you back to Let's Play Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. As we left off, I gotta find out how to say Caprice encore to Madame Cazanou. At least find out what the heck that means. And we got other places to go. At least Mosley wants to see us, so let's go there first. I'm going out. Uh-huh. So let's visit Mosley. Maybe he has something new for us. At least I remember that Mosley wanted to see us. So let's talk to the desk sergeant here. Ah, nice precinct. Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you can know. Got a second, officer? What can I do you for? I'm here to see Detective Mosley. He's in his office, going back. Do you know what Caprice encore means? Can't say that I do. Alrighty, let's just go. Go meet Mosley. I wonder what he has to say actually to us. I think I know. I think I do know, but oh, they had the suspect. Right. You, give me back my badge. Now, Knight. Sure. Yeah, you borrowed again your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspect, that sort of thing. I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy anyway? Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. He's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square pushing coke. He knows something. Call it Detective's Instinct. Detective Instinct. Got it. Man, he walked fast. Alright, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. Have you been present at the so-called voodoo rituals? I know nothing, I told you. Come on now, you can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals? Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go. Relax, no one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were plainclothesmen. Plainclothes? Like you can fool them? They know I'm here. They got ears all over the city. They know everything. Who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders? Let me go! If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. You tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you into witness protection program. But you have to earn it. Witness protection? Are you crazy? Don't make me laugh. Jesus, just let me out of here. Oh, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why aren't the victims all members of the underworld? By now they know I'm here. It's different when I'm supposed to come here. If I can send a message, then tell them I didn't say nothing. Christ, he's freaking useless. Take it back to the detainee, would you, Tony? I tell you, at times like this, I'd kill for truth serum and the damned civil rights. Can I quote you on that? Huh? Hell no! Damn. We can only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. For the book, I mean. Maybe you can punch it up some. You know, what do they call it? Fiction. That's it. It certainly is. I'll see what I can do. It certainly wasn't nothing of importance about the suspect, but apparently the guy was really spooked about the Voodoo murders, so he knew something but he couldn't tell anything. Or he could not tell you nothing. Can I ask you about some stuff? You're the writer. Ask away. Do you know anything about Marie Laveau? Is she the red-headed chick that works at Freddy's? No. Then I don't know her. Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger? No. Is that anything like Chuck Yeager? I don't think there's any relation. What's the status on the Voodoo murders case? It sure as hell ain't going well. There are a lot of breaks being applied in different areas of the investigation. We're getting some real info on the victims now, and they're not exactly upstanding citizens. I was hoping to get more out of Crash, but he's scared shitless. I'll have to let him go tomorrow morning. Do you know anything about animal masks? Animal masks? You mean like those Halloween masks they sometimes use in robberies? I don't think so, more like real animals. Never ran across anything like that. Have you ever called that hair club for men? I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight. I'll let you get back to it. Have a good one. And thus we have lost the police badge. Because of course it's mostly it's not ours, so police property and all that. Good thing we are a friend with a detective so he doesn't arrest us. But I think he would next time we do that again. If we ever do that again. I wonder if there's anything new at the cemetery. Last time we saw that message out there. I wonder if there's anything else, something new. Doesn't seem to be. It looks like the same message as before. And I'll take another look at it. There's nobody here. Okay. I was wondering if there would be an appearance here. Gabriel already copied the marks on the tomb. Okay, so those are the same marks. Nothing else in here then. Any other place we could go to right now? Well, maybe we can go to Napoleon House. There is the two guys playing chess. And it seems that this guy might know something about voodoo. Excuse me, I hate to interrupt your game, but could I ask you a few questions? What game? This isn't a game, it's a slaughter. It's right, you know. So let me die in peace, would ya? I don't really remember the voices I gave those two. Maybe I'll find out at some point. Actually, I should have talked to him. Maybe he'll know what caprice and girl means. Because I don't remember if I ever asked about it. Could I ask you some few questions? Sure, I'm not too busy at the moment. Does the phrase caprice and girl mean anything to you? Never heard of it. So what has Sam told you about voodoo? That's all about all I can remember. Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger? Never heard of it. Okay. So I did ask about the voodoo stuff and Sam. Just gotta find a way to help Sam with this situation. There is a way. We just need to learn about something. And get money for it first. Well, let's see. There's the university. I did remember that the university opened up now because we learned about there being a lecture here. It looks like the lecture is just starting. Gabriel decides to record the session. Voudoun is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voudoun is actually a banner heading under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word Voudoun may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as a voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, Voudoun, and the European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of the subcults of African Voudoun have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals, some relate to specific tasks or places, some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes Voodoo so easily adaptable. With all those spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa important in the conqueror's tribal system would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the Voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the Voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the Voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions, and note I said primal and not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of Voodoo. Fascinating guy. In Voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a Voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit and becomes in effect merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god, Erzuli, the mistress of love, Papanebo or Gede, the Lord of the Dead, or Lord of Death, Agwe, the Spirit of Water, Legba, Spirit of the Crossroads, and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the Lord of Destruction. I gotta get more sleep at night. Tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Onfos, the priests Hungan, or Bokors, the priestesses Mamaloa. In a Voodoo Onfu, there's a ritual circle marked with by a center pole called a patomitan. The ritual circle is prepared with a veve, a pattern of symbols. Each tribe's veve is slightly different, consisting of complex symbols that identify their special Loa. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mamaloa, or head priestess. The use of totems or animal masks and markings was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves include the ritual gourd or ason, the ritual knife or kubasa. That knife gives me the chills. The ritual whip or fouet-cache, and the ritual coffin or sekei madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mamaloa for specific magical rituals. The Mamaloa is the most powerful figure in any Voudoun sect. Voudoun is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mamaloa is the supreme woman. She butterflies and fireflies. Fireflies. Gabriel? What? Can't see. Gabriel, get in. Can't. It's too small for me. You must get in, Gabriel. It's not mine. Too small. Hide, Gabriel. Hide. Oh, no! Let me out! Help! Young man, the lecture is over. Oh my god. Sorry. Well, he fell asleep. But that's usually not surprising. Mostly people fall asleep in long lectures when they get to the more boring parts. Although for me, that was extremely interesting. Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Greek night at the Alpha Psi Omega frat house. It looks like it took place sometime last spring. Greek night, huh? Toga! 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 Ow! That was me hitting the desk with my hand. Ow. There's a notice for a lecture on investigative reporting techniques to be given by octogenarian Pulitzer Prize winner Laura Dorian. Ah, unfortunately, it's weeks away. By that time, Gabriel will have to have learned on his own. Oh man, we could have learned something from Laura Bow. She's another character in the Sierra games. Look her up. She has two of her own games. Need a ride to LA the last weekend in August. I wouldn't go there if you paid me. Work out of your home and make up to $2,000 a week in your spare time. Call whatever 555-6789. I actually called them once. You sell cat food over the phone. Really? Cat food? We'll do algebra or biology homework for food. Somebody's desperate. Jazz jam session every Tuesday at 7 in the music building. Haircuts for $10 a head, perms for $20 at Tulane Beauty School, West Campus. Like I'd let an amateur touch these locks. Okay, I guess that's all that we have to look for here. Let's go talk to the professor again. Maybe he'll give us more information without us falling asleep. Are you a student? No, my name is Knight. Gabriel Knight. Well, you have walked into my private office, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know. Dr. Hardrich's office is crowded with masks, carved figures, and strange objects. The carved stone head looks African and very old. To me, it looks more like Greek. I thought it would be a head of Zeus. That mask is quite hideous. Yes, it is. The squatter grins maliciously at Gabriel. Yeah, I've seen those before. It's an enormous stone head. Second biggest we've ever seen. That door leads back to the lecture hall. Exotic fish lend even more color to the cluttered office. Dr. Harcher's desk is remarkably neat, especially considering the rest of the room. It's Hardrich's file cabinet. An old globe sits atop Hardrich's file cabinet. Dr. Hardrich is sharp-eyed and even sharp-tongued. When he condescends to look at Gabriel at all, it's with a dismissive glare. Well, don't need to be rude. Your lecture was terrific. You think so? You were snoring so loud I didn't think you'd heard it. No need to be rude. You must travel a lot. Yes, to Africa mainly. Mind if I pick your brain? Not if it will get you out of my office. What can you tell me about voodoo? You already sat through my lecture on this subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something. What do you know about the Voodoo murders? You have read about them in the papers, I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is fake, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat the Voudoun. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with. What can you tell me about New Orleans? I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans. What do you know about the voodoo murders? As I said, I don't know anything about what the papers say. According to them, there's no reason for me to be interested. Do you know anything about snakes? I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care about reptiles. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve? It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist, but June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day. A burning wheel? Huh. Do you have any idea what Caprice encore means? Caprice encore? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns. As in a female goat? No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in Voudoun are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being. Do you know anything about Marie Laveau? While I find the colloquial bastardization of Voudoun somewhat interesting from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and the true Voudoun practices. Do you know anything about animal masks? As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions. Tell me about bebes. If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask. Have you ever heard of a Schattenjäger? I'm afraid I can't help you there, Mr. Knight. Tell me more about human sacrifices. It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ursule, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ursule is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have been grown and powerful, hung and tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly they are afraid that something of this sort will be ordered, or that the Loa will simply take it for themselves. Tell me about yourself. Alright, Mr. Knight, I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am a heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions? No. Fine. Jeez. He really doesn't like people. At least that's the kind of vibe I get out of him. He really doesn't like people. Or just people asking random questions. Wasting his time, I guess. But we do have things to show him. Most importantly, the Veve. Can you tell me anything about this pattern? Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this? Be my guest. Great. I'll be right back. Well, that was fast. Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating Veve. You must tell me all about its origin. Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols? Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want the research to design myself. Each of the symbols in the baby represents something. A law, a place. Where did you get this? Have you ever heard of the Voodoo murders? No. You're kidding. Really? Then the Voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong. You think this baby is authentic then? Authentic, Mr. Knight? That's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into those symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you? Absolutely, but I'm undercover. You can contact me at the St. George's bookshop in a quarter. Alright, now I'd like to get started on this if you don't mind. Alright, so he'll get started on that and tell us when things are ready. So let's go. Okay, thanks. Oh, do keep in touch. Now he's all excited that we actually did something. Well, let's see about this record. You keep recordings of everybody you have talked to. And here is the lecture. Let's go forward. Let's see what we'd missed. He was talking about butterflies and such. Yeah, that was fascinating guy. There was the other yawn. Oh great, and Gabriel was snoring so loudly through the whole thing that there's nothing but snoring. Yeah. That's the end of the whole thing. God damn it, Knight. Why did you have to fall asleep? Oh well, at least now we know what caprice and cœur means, so we can go and talk to Kazanu about stuff. So let's go meet up with her and tell her that we know... Why did I pushed the wrong thing. French Quarter. Thank you. There we go. Mistakes. Mistakes are made! Prominently. Alright, but this is private. Hopefully I won't sound like Sean Connery again, like last time. But we'll see how it goes. The things I do for my art. Yes, who is it? It's Father McLaughlin back again, don't you know? Oh, he's Minnesotan. Yes, Father. Come on in. Maybe I should be speaking in a Minnesotan accent instead of an Irish, then. Now, what can I do for you? Can we look at the dog? Apparently not. Well, let's ask her some questions. Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions, madam? If you wish, Father. About caprice and core. Oui? Are you going to tell me what it means, Father? It means goat without horns. Father, you surprise me. You do know what it means. You know what they mean by goat without horns, don't you? A human being. That's right. Slit your throat. Cut out your heart. Pure evil murder. Do you know anything about Veves? No, Father, I don't know anything about that. Do you know anything about human sacrifice here in New Orleans? Well, my great-grandmother could tell stories. She saw it. People say that sort of thing that wasn't done in New Orleans, but the real voodoo queens did it. Oh, yes. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve? I don't think I should say any more about that. Marie Laveau?
She was only a front for the real evildoers, father, and that's the truth about Marie Laveau.
Animal masks? No. Who were the real voodoo queens?
Well, my mother told me that Laveau was just a front, a flamboyant decoy. She distracted authorities from the real voodoo queen of New Orleans. It's been the same one for almost 200 years. She's head of a secret voodoo en four. That's what they call their temples, you know. It's so secret most of the voodoo people in this city don't even know about it. The real voodoo queen controlled Laveau, gave her a little bit of power and used her like a puppet.
Is there anything else you remember about the real voodoo queen?
Well, my great-grandmother said the real voodoo queen was the most beautiful woman on earth. She had the most incredible copper-colored skin.
Is there anything else?
Well, they're all brides of Satan. Other than that, I can't think of anything.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans.
It's just plain evil. It's dangerous to even discuss it.
Tell me more about the secret voodoo en four.
Well, I've never seen it. I wouldn't go near it if you paid me. But it's here in New Orleans, I guarantee it. I hear their drums at night. Oh, yes. That's why I'm so ill, I tell you. Those drums. But we shouldn't talk about it. They'll hear us. It's the devil's work what that happens there. I can tell you. I'll show you something. Something secret. You mustn't tell anyone, father.
I swear on my collar.
Here it is, mon père. A true object of evil, if ever there was one.
It radiates something, all right.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. She told my mother that it was a token to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremonies.
You don't say.
To tell you the truth, I've always felt nervous about having it in the house. You know, evil influence and all.
I can see how you would, yes.
And yet I could never part with it. It's been in the family for generations. Would you place it for me, father? I feel strange asking such a thing of you, but surely you understand.
Bless this bracelet of a snake, even though its vibes aren't great. Let it do nobody harm when they wear it on their arm. Voodoo spirits go away, don't come back another day. And now, let us pray. Nice poetry, I can tell that you're a writer. It's a bracelet the shape of a snake. Well, we need to make an imprint of that, and good thing I brought that clay with me. Gabriel has a thought about the clay. Bless, oh bless, this circlet of silver. Take the curse, oh take it, Wilbur.
A lovely blessing, mon père.
Really? The patron saint of Wilbur? Yes, I think it made a lasting impression. Here you go. I see what you did there, Gabriel.
I feel so much better now.
It's so nice of you to invite me in.
But no, mon père. I am always happy to see one of the good fathers.
So now we have an imprint of the, It's a clay mold of Madame Casanou's snake bracelet. I wonder how I'm gonna get something in it that it's going to harden, and it's gonna be a perfect imprint of the bracelet, or a clay model of it. I don't remember seeing anything anywhere. Maybe we will at some point. Well, let's get out of here. Actually, I should ask her about something. And nothing else to talk about that. Well, there's nothing to talk to her about, apparently. Oh well, let's just go. Well, madame, I must be going.
Of course, father. I know how busy you must be tending to your flock.
Slam! I'm not going back on to the street and looking like this. I wonder where to go next. Well, we're gonna find that out maybe next time. Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
So yeah, next time we're gonna find out what next we can do around here. Can't really remember where to go, what to do. But we'll find that out next time. So until then, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a good evening, good afternoon, and a good morning, and I will see you all next time.
Take care, people.
Bye.